Hi, third graders. We are going to take a look at finishing up our notes for division today. So, if you remember, we started off with our anchor chart. We glued that in on page 8. Then on page 9, we talked about dividing, sharing using equal groups. And we're going to talk about today and finish up dividing, sharing into equal groups. But now we're going to use the strategy of subtraction. So, remember, we're going to page 9. And there is our anchor chart. That's always a good resource to have so that you can see how we're breaking it apart into equal groups or using repeated subtraction. But I'm going to demonstrate for you a problem. Oops, and this is why Ms. O'Neill told you, make sure you don't glue your pages together. They're almost glued together. Okay, so yesterday we talked about taking the total objects, putting the groups, and then putting an object into each group until we run out of objects, which would be 12, and finding how many objects are in each group. Today, we're going to take and do the opposite here. This time we're going to know how many objects there are to subtract, and we're going to find out how many groups there are. So, if we start off with 12 objects, and again, we always have to start with the total. These again are the total objects. So, total objects, and we are going to this time put 3 objects in each group. I just want to show you how this is related, and we're going to look for the groups. So, we could do this one of 2 ways. We could start putting objects into groups of 3. So I can do 1, 2, 3, and then draw a group around it. And now I have 1 group. I can do that again. 1, 2, 3. And now I have a second group. So now I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9. Draw a group around it. Now I'm at 3 groups, and finally 10, oops, let's stay within the boundary here, 10, 11, and 12. And that's going to be another group. Kind of looks like a kitty cat, huh? So we're going to take this idea now and use repeated subtraction. So the idea here was we started off with 12, subtracted 3 from 12, and that gave us 9 left. Now we're going to take the 9 and take away 3 more and put it into a group, and now we should be left with 6. Take the 6 that are left and put 3 in a group, which is what I just did here. That's another 3 in the group, and that leaves me with 3. And finally, if I take those final 3 and put them into a group, I have 0. And now I can come up here and tell how many groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be 4 groups. And remember, you're always checking using checking using multiplication. So I have 4 groups. There's 3 objects in each group, and we get 12 because we started with 12 with our answer. So we can check. Okay, so 4 times 3. Again, these are my groups. These are the number in each group, and this is going to be my total. So those are your notes for today. You're going to finish those up on page 9 in your composition notebook, and we will be back on January 5th, I believe, and we will get started back with multiplication and division. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget your DMA test.